Hey and welcome to Smash Talk, the series where I sit down with another Smasher and we talk about Super Smash Bros. Melee. We just talk about all different sorts of topics. It's a very casual conversation. Hey, I'm Macca from Melee.co and in this episode, I sit down with Tane, who's another Peach player from the Gold Coast who's slightly better than me. We talk about a whole bunch of different things like him and how he got into Melee, as well as some predictions for an upcoming Australian tournament. We talk about growing the community, what we can do for that, and as well towards the end we talk about how to get better as a player, how to research your character, and how to find out good options and things like that. So it was a really great conversation to have. We spent so much time talking over Facebook Messenger about Smash Brothers anyway, so it made sense to record it and hopefully it finds value in your ears. That was a weird sentence, but I hope that you find value in this conversation. I hope that it's entertaining and it helps you become a better Smash player. So here is my interview with Tane. Basically, we spent so much time talking about Smash anyway, figured why not record it for fun for people, because obviously I've been interviewing players, but then that's me trying to find out more about them and less about random Smash stuff. So I don't know, I just thought it could be fun.
Okay, doke. Well, we'll see how it goes. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It could be good, could be bad. But, okay, so for the people that do watch this who have no idea who you are Tane, another Peach player from the Gold Coast who is better than me, slightly above me. But, yeah, first, let's just tell the people what got you into Melee, how did you get into it, and how did you choose Peach?
Well, I got the game for Christmas in 2002 or 3 or something like that, and I thought it was the best game ever, and it's always been my favorite game ever since 2002 or 3 or whatever. And more recently, I rediscovered the competitive scene. Maybe 6 months after the documentary came out, that was the first time I watched it.
So
and
when was this? Was this back? When did the doco come out? 2013? 13.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so it was after Evo. It's probably late 2013 or early 2014 that I watched the doco, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then maybe another 6 months after that, I went to my first tournament in Queensland, where I played, random characters. Did really badly.
So did you go to a Brisbane tournament? And how'd you find out about the scene and the tournaments and stuff like that?
So on Smashboards, they had a lot of the Queensland thread was still being updated at the time, and it always had the next tournament is on this date at this place, blah blah blah. Back then, there wasn't too much going on. The only tournament series that was regularly being run, apart from a couple of house tournaments that were not so regular, was the Play Warehouse series, which was in Logan. And
Logan's so good from the Gold Coast because it's only
I had to take the train the first time I went, and it was run by Arkaze. Matt.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a Smash 4 player at the time, Brawl player, because Smash 4 wasn't out, and he ran Melee upstairs. And Brawl was downstairs, and I went to the first tournament, and I played lots of Melee, and it was fun. I got bopped by everyone. I don't know. That was pretty cool. I didn't really go to too many tournaments. I'd go to one every 3 months or something. And eventually, I realized that my movement was terrible, and my options were either get good and learn how to move, or maybe... I don't know. I realized there was a shortcut, which was play Peach, because with Peach is kind of janky character. She's not very good, but you don't have to learn how to L cancel. You don't have to learn how to shuffle properly to get a lot of her really basic stuff down. You can kind of
you don't have to do anything off the ledge because you can't do anything off the ledge.
That's right. I had no way. No what do you call it? Ledge dashing. None of that. So I thought, okay, I can probably. I'll see how this goes. I'll just play some Peach, right? And I think that was one of the early Griffith Smashes that I first tried it out. And that was pretty good. It turns out you can beat, 70% of Queensland with dash attack down smash and grabs. That's all you need. and for cancelled aerials. So yeah, that's when I thought, okay, I guess I'll put some more time into Peach, and that's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm just looking on Smashboards now under like the regional Australia stuff, and it's super hard to like find events and stuff now. I kind of feel bad for people who like want to get into the Australian tournament scene, because unless you like stumble upon like QueenslandSmash.com, it's hard to work out what's going on.
Now, so back in the day, the Queensland thread was updated, and people actually used Smashboards.
Yeah,
and I think that ended about, I don't know, late the end of last year / the start of this year, and it just got abandoned. So now Smashboards is not somewhere where you can find any of that stuff. Is my camera okay? Can you see properly?
What?
Is my camera okay? Like, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. It's kind of got like lines flickering across it a bit.
I don't understand what that is. Oh well.
So, question, is Queensland, like QLDSmash.com, is that just like, is that the place for all of Australia in regards to Smash stuff? Or is it just Queensland? Because it has like other events as well.
It does. It has a lot of events from the other places. It's run by Lachlan Firth, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So you can kind of ask him what the deal is.
Just seems so random that an Australian, like the main Australian Smash site would be called Queensland.
It's Queensland Smash. Well, I mean, I think it was originally for Queensland, but I suppose, I don't know, the scope of the site expanded at some point.
Yeah, if I Google Australian Smash tournaments, first comes up is like Smashboards for some Australian page, and then second is Queensland Smash.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, it works. It's not very clear, though, based on the domain name.
I know. You think it's just about Queensland.
Queensland, yeah.
I'm just thinking, do people use Smashboards anymore?
No. Well, I mean, Queensland doesn't, that's for sure.
I never go on it. So, yeah, like for me, I think I found something on Smashboards and then got led to the Facebook group and then got added to the Facebook group. And then Kami started talking to me over Messenger, and that's how I worked out where the tournaments were and how I attended my first tournament.
It's not very easy, is it?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Hopefully over time we'll get better at it. But yeah, my first tournament, 0-2, lost every single game, didn't even win any games at all. But yeah, I got there at like 10 and I was one of the last people to leave and had a great time. So it's definitely lots of fun. I didn't realize like you've been in the like competitive scene for like a couple of years, because I can't even remember the first time I saw you. Did you ever come to
I never really went.
Did you ever come to the meetups? There was one at like Wizzo's house, then there was a couple at like the Street Fighter guys had a house. Did you ever come to those?
I went to one of those. I went to one of the Street Fighter house meetups. Yeah,
and then we moved to Good Games, which has been so good for us.
But yeah, before the FGC invited us to their thing, I never went to any Gold Coast events. There were 2 Gold Coast tournaments that I didn't go to in like 2014 or whatever. So I just didn't go very often. I just played with my close friends, the Samus player, CMPS, and that was pretty much it. Like I went to a tournament every so often without really taking it too seriously.
Okay, so let's talk about like your practice regime, because you're like the opposite to me, right? So I don't do heaps of research, but I'll like try and get in like half an hour a day or something. Whereas you're like, you do all of this frame data, all of this research sort of stuff, but you're like, oh yeah, my CRT is just not set up. I haven't practiced.
It's actually set up at the moment. I think, can you see it back there somewhere?
Yeah, it's behind you.
There it is.
It is set up.
I haven't actually touched it though since Jesus, I don't know. I haven't played it. I mean, it's there if I want to play it. If I want to play some 20XX, but no, I don't really do it.
I thought it was so funny when you're like, one day you're like, oh yeah, I can wave dash now, and it was just at one of our Smash Fests, and you just like worked it out during one of the Tuesday night things, how to wave dash and bring it into your game.
Oh, I mean, I'm still not like super consistent with it. Like I miss it a lot, but yeah, sometimes when I'm on, I can just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been trying to wave dash for forever. It's hard, man. It's too tight.
That's my practice regime at the moment, is like sit down for like 15 minutes or half an hour and wave dash for like that amount of time.
That's one of the other things. Like I realized, okay, I could learn how to wave dash, or I could play Peach, whose wave dash is so bad that it isn't that necessary.
Yeah.
Like it's literally the worst wave dash in the game, right? So I can get away with not knowing how to do it so much.
Yeah. Do you think it's the worst in the game
It's the shortest.
out of everyone? Really?
It's her and Zelda. It's just bad.
Yeah, I was trying to use it last Tuesday. We ran like a bracket, and I was playing like against Rob, and I'm like, who's a Falcon player. I'm like, okay, is there any way? I'm just trying to now. I can get it down more consistently. I'm trying to work out, okay, does it have any applications? When can I apply Peach's wave dash? And like, I'm trying to like wave dash back to get like out of range for him, but he would just always get me. So I'm like, okay, maybe against Falcon, wave dash back to get out of range.
Ridiculous horizontal movement. Like, he runs at you and he has so much momentum from his fast dash that like you're just going to get hit by that nair. I mean, it's pretty much a projectile, isn't it? It just goes all the way across the screen. Hitboxes all the way across. It's just Peach's tiny little wave dash back isn't going to do much.
Yeah, and I think there was one level I was playing on Fountain of Dreams, and I think he can like get across the entire stage from like a dash into like a neutral air.
And hitboxes all the way.
Yeah, it's insane. What are as Peach, we always have conversations, and you think Peach is bad against everyone. You think every character is better than Peach, even Pichu.
No. Okay, so I think Peach loses to Fox, Marth, Falco, Sheik, Falcon, Puff. Okay? I don't think that's controversial. I think that's just obvious. Is that everyone?
Yeah, that's everyone like in the top 7. Then you've got Ices, which she clearly wins against.
Yeah. So I think she beats Ices, Pikachu, and Luigi. No, oh yeah, and Yoshi. So everyone below her, I think like the relevant characters below her she beats, and the other characters in the top 8 just she gets pooped on.
So why is Peach above Falcon then if
because
everyone in the top 8 like is a bad matchup for her?
There's only like, I mean, those are the community tier lists. I think everyone has their own tier list otherwise, right? But Falcon doesn't have any good results at all. Like Wizrobe last week got 4th at DreamHack Austin, right? And that's the best result a Falcon player has had since like 2006. Like Falcon has not been a good character. Even
SGJ, what has he done? Has he not?
I mean, can you think of his best results? He got 7th at Sandstorm, MVG Sandstorm back in last year. What else has he done? Like, I can't think of any of his like really like nice major results. Like, what has he done at majors?
Is it true that the last Falcon to win a major was Isaiah?
I think so. I mean, I can't think of anyone else that has done it. I mean, that's why. So Falcon, as good as Falcon is, I mean, as much as Falcon poops on Peach, at the end of the day, he doesn't seem to have anyone piloting him that'll get, really impressive results.
And do you think Peach is only like highly regarded more so than Falcon because of Armada?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if like Armada didn't play Peach, then we could have a different tier list.
Well, where is Peach without Armada? That's the question. And I think the answer is...
Who was I talking to? I was talking to Wife or something, and it was like, there's Armada who plays Peach. Next is MacD, who's like 16th or something on the tier list. And then below that was Bladewise, who's like 30-something.
Yeah.
And then there might be like 1 or 2 other Peach players, like Mafia, who's 90th or somewhere around the 90 mark.
I mean, there's nothing there. So Peach isn't a real character. Peach is a jank character who gets wins off of your opponent being dumb. Like I don't think Peach is a real character.
Yeah, I was playing Jaybirds on Tuesday, who's a Falco player, and he was saying that to me. He's like, you can't just like wait for me to stuff up and down smash. Like you need to take a more proactive approach to this game and how you're like attacking me and stuff like that.
It's good advice, except the problem is you play Peach.
Well, that's it. There was one point, and we're on Dreamland, and he was just standing on the top platform or like on the side platforms, and he was trying to like show me that I need to play smarter and like actually approach him. But like, yeah, you can't as Peach, especially on Dreamland. You try and get up to the top platform, like you can't reach it.
It's not happening. I mean, there's a famous set between West Balls and Armada where West Balls camps the top platform on Battlefield because Battlefield has a really nice high top platform. and it mostly works. He gets impatient near the end of the game and he starts approaching, and he loses. But for 7 minutes of the game, he was camping the top platform and it was working.
Yeah, I think
apparently, at different regional centers like around the world, there are Falcos that will do that to Peach. It's kind of like a subtle counter strategy, but you don't really see it at high level play very often. But definitely, like if you go to a random local where lots of Peaches and lots of Falcos are, I'm sure someone has tried that, and that's like the meta of their local.
Well, I reckon the hardest thing is though, as like Falco or someone who plays like a fast character, is just to be patient enough to be able to do that.
Yeah,
like I was playing Skyte, who's a Fox player from Queensland, and we have like this rivalry going on for some reason. Because I think like originally I beat him with Peach and he like hates Peach and he got so angry because he's like, I just did 12 inputs and got like 37% and you like just hit down on the C stick and I'm at 70% and he got so angry. And so like ever since then we've had like this rivalry. And so we're 2 for 2, like he's won 2, I've won 2. But I was playing against him at the last UQ and he beat me in the first game. And then I just thought about it, I'm like, why am I losing? And it's like, he's just waiting for me to approach him and I'm whiffing and then he's punishing that. And I'm like, if I just chill out, stop approaching, then, I should win. And I did that and it totally worked because he's just like, it's hard for people to stay back and to be patient. And he's like, I'm not attacking him. So he would just come in and attack me. And I basically like reversed the strategy on him and it worked.
There was a point, in 2011, right? Hacks Money. He put a post on Smashboards that basically said the future of Melee, or like the one thing you should do is not approach, because the way the game was like looking into the future was that approaching was just a bad option in the game.
Yeah.
And since then, I don't think it's actually it hasn't gone that direction, at least at top level play, not completely at least. But I think that was like a very, very, I don't know, what's the word? He was definitely looking into the future a bit, because it's true that, a lot of things aren't safe on Shield. A lot of things don't work too well. The only characters that have really good frame positive stuff on Shield are the Spaceys and Peach, thanks to float cancelling. And even then it's like really hard to do, right?
Yeah.
So I think in general, like whiff punishing, not approaching, and just playing like a really reactive game was something that it's definitely a way you can play, and it's probably a more effective way to play it, especially at a low level when no one really knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like playing at a low level when people are going to whiff and they're not going to do stuff that's positive on Shield, you can like get away with it, and people do just get impatient and no one can...
I still get ridiculous amounts of mileage off of Shield grab. Like, it's like 90% of my game. That down smash and dash attack is my game. I don't have anything else. What do
you use? Because I got the best compliment from Rob that was actually like not a compliment, but he was like, your worst habit is your down smash. And I was so impressed by that, because my worst habit used to be I would just spam
dash attack
all the time.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes, my worst habit isn't dash attack anymore. And he's like, yeah, your dash attack mix-ups are like not too bad now. I was like, yes.
Funnily enough, when I first started playing Peach, I didn't down smash at all. And I think my results with Peach the first time I played her were like, okay. And then then someone said to me, oh, why don't you down smash? And I was like, oh, that's a good point. And the next time I started implementing down smash into my game, and it's so free. Like people just walk into it, they jump into it. It's not fair.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been very liberal with the down smash. And even if I get punished for it, it's like the risk reward seems to be pretty high, to be honest, against most people.
Yeah. The worst with down smash is when you're playing against like a high level player like Rob, like Jaybirds, etc., because they'll notice you down smashing, know you're going to do it, and then just like knee you in the face or something while you're down smashing and get around the hitboxes. But definitely, like when you're playing against other people, they'll still jump into you when you're on a platform.
Yeah.
And you can down smash on a platform. Like now that I can wave dash back, down smash can be quite useful as well.
Yep.
Because you can like outspace people, or even like crouch cancel down smash. It is so good.
Yeah, man. CC down smash is it's broken. It's broken at the level.
Though I wish I could crouch cancel down smash or crouch cancel do more stuff against Marth. I've been trying to like crouch cancel heaps of his stuff, and it just doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, no, math is tough. I don't really have a math plan. Like I was playing a math that had like never played Peach before, and I almost lost to him. So I just don't think it's very easy.
How do you go against? So there's two maths. Is there only two in our region? Wizzo and Thatch.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Oh no, Haze used to play math, but not anymore.
No.
How do you go
not really.
against those two? Because I feel like they have very different styles of math when they play against Peach.
I don't know. I beat him, I guess.
I guess I go more even with them, so like I notice more. One thing that I just worked out against Thatch, because it used to be like Peach's options coming back or coming from the ledge against Marth are like terrible. And so, or like just coming back, one thing that I would do that would work against a lot of Marths is you would do the air dodge, and then they would like throw out a forward air, but they would miss you because you'd air dodge, and then you'd be able to either get in a hit or you'd be able to run away. But with Thatch, he would always do forward smash to up tilt, and he'd always get me with the up tilt. And like this went on for months, like 3 or 4 months or something like that. And like I can't do this, and because Peach doesn't really have many other options, so I just kept doing it and kept getting punished. And then it was at the last tournament, like so 2 weeks ago, I worked out if I air dodge so I don't try and air dodge into him so I can get a hit, but I air dodge past him so his up tilt doesn't hit. And like it was genius. It was so good.
Worked.
I was like, yes, I can now get away from it. And like
It took months to come up with that one.
it took months to come up with I can actually air dodge past the character rather than air dodge basically like to the same point as the character, which is what I always did. So
I mean, to tell you the truth, like all that stuff isn't too different from what the top players do. I just think they adapt in the same game.
yeah.
Whereas we take months to work out. Oh, we have another option.
Yeah, and then we'll span that option for the next 4 months until he works it out differently.
That's
and
right.
Their progress is within game, and ours is over the course of years.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't think we're going to catch up anytime soon.
So speaking of like Australia and catching up, we've got BAM coming up this weekend, which is Australia's
Very exciting.
biggest tournament. I'm not going. I'm guessing you're not going. Are you going?
No.
No. Are you planning to go
Sky's
next
going.
year?
Next year. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. I think I might try and go next year, but we'll see how we go.
That'd be cool.
Let's talk about like predictions for BAM and like
Alright.
what you think.
I think Rob is going to win.
Do you really?
I think he'll get top 8. I think...
All right. Let's,
okay, what do I really think? I think Rainbow's going to win.
Which is RJ, right?
RJ, yep. The Peach player from New South Wales. He's really good.
Why do you think he's going to win?
Really good. I don't know. If you've seen him play, he's really good. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen that much of him, but what I have seen has been so impressive that I just think I don't know if anyone else in Australia is up to the same kind of standard.
So do you think even Smopup is not up to that standard? Do you think he would beat Smopup?
No, I mean I think in any given matchup, like I think his opponent has a chance of winning, but I just think that I would favor him in most matchups that he has.
Yeah. So what about Spud? That's the thing. Like
Spud is slated to play Rainbow RJ to get into top 8, or is it? No. Is it in first round of top 8, I think, maybe.
Is the bracket up, is it?
Yeah, bracket's up.
Where is it?
Smash GG.
Okay. I'm going to Google it and try and find it while we talk.
So it'll be free for RJ until he gets up to Spud, and I think he'll probably beat Spud. Because there was Tane in Sydney where
Spud's a Math player and he's a Peach player?
Spud, I don't think he goes Math against Peach. I think he goes... Because he's in Western Australia, and he plays Quetz a lot. And I think against Quetz he doesn't go Math, does he? I don't actually know. But I know...
Who's Quetz?
Quetz is a Peach player from Western Australia, Quetzalcoatl, and he's really good. He has innovated a lot of Peach stuff. He's like responsible for like 80% of the new Peach content in the last whatever years.
What's his tag? I'm trying to find him on Queensland Smash. How do you spell it?
Q-U...
Oh, there he is.
He's
okay, yeah. Quetz.
So if you look on Smashboards, if you look at like any of the guides for Peach. Like a lot of the new tech is basically like discovered by him.
Really?
Yeah, he's like the foremost Peach researcher of our time.
Okay.
Like like all the tech that he's discovered, like not even Armada does. Like there's there's a ridiculous amount of stuff there.
Okay. I gotta get in contact with this guy and try and talk to him.
Yeah, no, you should. Having said that though, Rainbow's better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on the Elo, which I've discovered no one cares about, Quetz is
no one
17th and RJ is 4th. So
he's good. I mean, if you watch him play, he's really good. I don't know. I just based on the bracket, I feel like he's got a pretty good shot. I mean, I think anyone could win though. I think Rob could win. I really do. I think Rob could win. If you look at Rob's bracket, right, it goes.
All right, I'm bringing it
So
up
he plays Tack, who is a random Sheik main, and he's really good against Sheik. He plays Wibbles, which is an IC's main from ACT. Yeah, I mean, he can definitely do that.
So is this in pools? Are you looking at pools?
No, this is just their pools is bracket pool, so it's bracket all the way pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Then he'll play Skeleton, who is another Falcon player. I think Rob's gonna get a pretty good shot against him. Then he's got SA Nick, who is one of the top seeds of the tournament. He's a Math player, and Rob is really good against Math. And then he has the winner of Rainbow and Spud. Right?
What pool is it? I'm looking for him now. Is he just in there as Rob?
I think he's in like A4. Yeah, he's in there as Rob. He's not Aussie Rob 1, 2, 3.
A7.
A7, yeah.
Versus Barefist, Benjovi, Coop, Fair, Hippo,
That's the one. So
Sebi.
The other 3 seeds in that pool are Sebi. Wait, Sebi's in that pool?
Maybe the pools have changed since you last looked.
Oh no, really?
And there's
I have to take another look.
Surprise, Tack, and Wibbles.
Yeah. So Wibbles and Tack are probably going to be who he's going to play, and they should be fairly straightforward for him. Like, I don't know, Wibbles is pretty good, I suppose. He might get wobbled, and he might lose that, but I mean, I think I'd still put Rob ahead there. I don't think he plays that many ICs, but at the same time, that's still a pretty good matchup. I think Rob will just win anyway.
Yeah, well, Rob's pretty good.
Yeah. And then Tom, first round out of bracket. Skeleton, who was another Falcon player. SA Nick, winner of RJ Spud. And then the winner of the other side of bracket, which is SD, Smoke Pop, Psych, and I don't know, Dekar or something. So
is this
overall,
like once he gets through brackets into top 64? You're saying?
I mean, top 60. Okay, so top 64 starts at the end of pools. Like winners finals of pools is pretty much top 64. The first round of top 64.
Okay.
Because it's a 170 man tournament or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you only have to win 7 sets to get into grand finals.
Okay.
If you're seeded.
Dude, how do you know all this shit? Done your research, hey?
No, when the brackets came out, I spent some time just looking at it. Who's going to win?
Just analysing, as you do.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised that you're like betting on Rob over people like RJ, Smopup, Spud, even Psych.
No, I think RJ's probably going to win. Probably. And by probably, I mean like I'd give him like a 30% chance of winning, which is higher than everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't actually think he's going to win. But if anyone is going to win, like the plurality of my percentage probability goes to him, I think.
So this is more like you're kind of approaching it more like horse racing than you are like choosing just one person. Like who do you think?
Yeah, I think anyone could win. It all depends on how they're playing on the day, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think the Smoke Up could win. I think SD could win. I mean, literally anyone who's seeded 1 to 10 could win. I think any one of those people could win.
I'd be so stoked if Rob won and someone from the Gold Coast won. I don't know. I find it hard to see him coming first. Like
Rob's been putting the work in. I think he could do it.
Well, like in Queensland, for example, like Smopup and Psych have basically won any tournament they both attended up until a week ago when Rob won Down Smash.
Where they both sandbagged that tournament, so
yeah. So then it's like, well, Rob beat Psych twice, right? So
yeah, his Puff and his Fox. Yep.
But then but he beat him in like winners finals or something. But
Yeah.
did Syke sandbag that? Or I feel like Syke sandbagged grand finals because he played like 4 different characters, one
Yeah.
including like Puff.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's sandbagging.
but then because he beat him twice, I'm like, oh, did he sandbag the first?
The
game
first one.
as well?
Yeah, they go fairly evenly, really. I mean, Rob is good against Sheik and he's good against Math, so he's good against Syke's front line, I guess. So
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hey.
yeah.
So does BAM go? So we got Cruise on Friday. Is that just Friday night or is that all day Friday?
I think it's Friday night because I think Queensland's in trouble because like everyone's getting there fairly late. They might not get there in time for Cruise.
Queensland won't.
I mean, Queensland are seeded first. Did you know that for Cruise?
They're seeded first.
Yeah, they're seeded first.
Yeah. I could imagine
That's
that
pretty
they would be. They've got a pretty strong team. Like
it's
Smo,
mainly because-
Syke, Jaybirds, Rob.
Yeah, that's sick. But the reason is Victoria have 2 teams and they split all their best players in between them.
Yeah. Which kind
So
of sucks.
otherwise-
I kind of wish that
yeah.
like
Because
Victoria
like even
would
if
do...
Queensland win, right, it's just like, oh, well, you know, Victoria didn't have a real team in there.
So I guess the question is, why didn't Victoria do like one really good team and then one secondary team?
I think they wanted an 8-team bracket. And so you can't have an 8-team bracket without an extra team to make up
but why
the
wouldn't they
eight
give the
teams.
4 best players into one team and then the 4
I
next
don't know.
level
You'd have to
players?
talk to Victoria. I think they wanted to make it fairer as well. I think they think they're the best. And if it'd be free if they just put their best team in. No, I don't actually know. You have to talk to Victoria.
Yeah. All right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in BAM.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen. I'd like to see Queensland win.
Obviously.
That'd be cool.
Basically, no one knows what's going to happen in terms of who's going to win. But I think in terms of Cruise, Queensland has the best chance. But in terms of bracket, it's really like anyone's game, basically.
Anyone. Yeah, I think everyone's pretty good. I think everyone's pretty committed, like relatively the same. I think everyone's got a chance.
Do you get bragging rights for like a whole year if you win BAM? Because it's our only like major national tournament, right? So if you win, are you like, I'm the best in Australia for a year?
It's not the only one. Like we do, I mean, they pop up every so often. Like, there's the Miles Warehouse series. There was Button Smash in Queensland recently-ish. Not that recently, last year.
Well, that's coming up in June or July, isn't it? Again?
No, so Button Smash was boycotted by the other states, by the domestic scene, because there was a rumor that some person was grimy and they're involved with it, so they boycotted it because...
So I did see this. I can't remember who the person was.
It doesn't matter. The point is they boycotted it, and I think Melee had like 9 entrants, so they cancelled the event.
Okay, so there is no major anymore.
No, there is no Button Smash, but there is a UQ major coming up after BAM. At the moment, no one has committed to entering it yet, but I think the plan is to try and get lots of people from the other states to come up for it. Whether they're successful or not, I don't know, but they're trying to make it happen. There's the UQ major coming up. What's it called? Final Destination, something like that.
Yes, that's the one in July, right?
Yep. So that's a major. At least it's going to be a major for Smash 4, absolutely. But for Melee, I don't know if it's going to get the support of the Australian scene.
Yeah.
It'll be nice though. They're trying.
Well, that's it's so hard in Australia because we have such a small scene. It's like if one main player from one state decides not to go, then it's kind of like not a major event.
Yeah, it's hard, yeah. The other thing is, the Australian scene is kind of like the way America was 4 years ago, whatever, 5-6 years ago, where there was only one tournament every, 6 months or whatever. Like because there's so much time in between the big events, you definitely do get bragging rights if you win it.
Well, it's interesting, talking to all the pro players from America, because I've been interviewing them, they've been talking about the people who have lived through when Melee died, 2007, 2008. They're like, yeah, Melee was dead. We'd run these tournaments and only 40 people would turn up. I'm like, 40 people? That's good, man.
Yeah.
40 people to a tournament is big for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were definitely scenes that out and out died. There wasn't any Melee after Brawl dropped at a lot of places. I think the resurgence of Melee was a very, I don't know. It definitely hurt. Brawl coming out definitely hurt.
Is there a way to see for Australia, what the latest tournaments were in states and how many attendances like they got?
Apart from Queensland Smash, where, I mean, there's a fair bit there. No, I don't know. But Queensland Smash has a lot of details there.
See, Queensland Smash, I can find upcoming ones or results.
Yeah, go to results.
Smash
it's all there.
Tournament results.
Like, so, yeah. You can definitely see a lot of tournaments that have been held in
but then
Australia.
You can't see a lot of it's like mixed in, like Wii U mixed in with...
You can click Melee on the side and it'll fix it.
Can you?
Yeah.
Nah, not for results, not for tournament results.
You should be able to.
Nah, it's just got regions. So you can do the regions or you can do like tournament series.
Oh, okay.
Smashing. I'm going to open New South Wales Smashing Good Time. Nah. Oh, here we go. Melee singles.
So there's 40 people, I think, at the New South Wales tournaments generally.
I'm trying to
20 to 40. Like 20 mostly.
Trying to work out how many. I don't know how to work out. It doesn't say how many people there were. Melee singles. Oh, it just has the bracket.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see and to like collate all of this. Not that anyone would ever have the time, but to collate it and to see like how many attendances or how many like tournaments each state has, how many people they have, if the scene's growing or not, like if tournament numbers are growing or not. That'd be cool to see, but that sounds difficult.
It's all there.
I know, but you got to like pull the information somehow. That's not going to be easy.
I kind of wonder like which tournaments don't get put onto Queensland Smash. I just wonder if there are any that just don't get uploaded the results. Because I mean, every so often Queensland doesn't put up one.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Or sometimes it's like months before they do it. Like I remember maybe it was one of the Gold Coast ones, like Lions Den or something like that, and it just didn't. The results didn't get put up for months, and I was like totally waiting for it because I did quite well in terms of where I was at the time. But yeah, so what do you think?
It's not something most people care about. I think the Queensland Smash, having it there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't know who puts up the results. Obviously, I think maybe the TOs for the out-of-state events. I mean, they must upload it, I guess. I don't know how it became to be a thing, but it's pretty cool that a lot of them are there.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty easy to submit because all you do is once you've logged in, you just go competitive, submit results, and then, like, I just put in the challenge
I've done it before,
that we use. What do you think in terms of like the future, looking forward in terms of the Australian scene? Because obviously, like, we suck compared to the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
Do you think we have like any chance? Like, it'll be interesting to see because, like, okay, so Smopup is a candidate for like one of the best in Australia, and he has like Psych and Rob to play against, and Jaybirds. But in terms of like good quality competition compared to the States, we have nothing. Do you think that'll like hold us back forever?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Australia is only a country of 24 million people, right? So just statistically, it's difficult that someone dedicated enough to play at that top level is going to come out of that number of people. Yeah. Like America,
because the States have like 15 times more people than us.
Yeah, they have 300 something million. Plus, I think there's more of a. It's kind of the home of Melee as well. I think that's where all the Melee goes on. So I think they're more likely to come up with some dedicated players, just in general. Like
I'm going to Google the population of Sweden because Sweden obviously has like two of the best players in the world.
That's right. So there is an existence proof of people coming out of nowhere to become really, really good, right? But Armada did it in 2009, where I think just labbing and grinding or whatever is. I mean, he came out of nowhere, essentially, from the perspective of the Americans.
Yeah.
And he didn't come out of a particularly strong scene at the time, but that didn't really matter because he did a lot, on his own, and he worked on it, right? And I think PP is the same because North Carolina is in the middle of nowhere for America.
Yeah. So Sweden has just less than 10 million people.
Yeah.
So less than half the population of Australia.
So you can call
they ended up with like two, top
but
six players.
Let's call it Europe. Europe, okay. So Europe has produced two top players. They both happen to be from Sweden, but Europe has produced two top players, and they've got 300 million as well, right? 500 million.
So you just bulk them all together.
Well, I mean, compare 20 million to 10 million, but I mean, really, it's 20 million to 500 million.
I guess it is easier for them to travel to other countries like within Europe, but it's still not easy.
Yeah, but it's about as easy, like going from Sweden to like Germany is about as easy as going from Queensland to South Australia, right? To Victoria. Yeah. Like it's about the same.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, it's hard to compare things. It's hard to compare things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so even if we had someone wants to get really, really good, they get super dedicated, they happen to have the talent at the time and the right conditions to get really, really good, right?
Yeah.
I think, obviously everyone's getting better at the same time. Like America is getting a lot better. I don't know. We'll probably always be behind. I don't think even if we had like our own armada, it would happen necessarily.
No. I don't know. I like to think that there's a chance there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a chance. There's absolutely a chance.
So
it's not going to be me though.
Let's talk about trying to grow the Smash scene in the country, because it's something that like we're trying to do, or I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I think like tournaments play a major role in growing the scene, but that's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of keeping the existing scene consistent. But I guess like it does bring new players and stuff like that. The hardest thing I'm trying to like work out is how do you bring new players like into the scene, into the game, or like connect them in? Because like a lot of like you and me kind of got connected to the scene almost by like luck. Like
I think for most people it was that. I think so. The documentary definitely helped a lot. I think that was a huge outreach. What's the word? I mean, it was huge in terms of outreach. Like a lot of people who got into the scene because they watched a documentary and they thought, oh, I wouldn't mind being part of something like that. And then they all those individuals put the effort in themselves to find the scene themselves.
Yeah.
And ingratiate themselves into it. But if it wasn't for that, I don't think it would happen. Like pre-documentary, I'm pretty sure the Melee scene in Queensland was pretty much dead. Like it didn't exist. Yeah. So I think a lot of new blood came from that. So in terms of what people can do to grow the scene, I don't know. Definitely making it easier, like making it easier in terms of like if you Google search, Queensland Melee or whatever, and it immediately comes up with the tournaments you can go to and whatever. Like just those kinds of like really small scale, making it easier to make it happen. I mean, that might be a good idea.
Well, that's the thing. Like I remember searching to try and find stuff that I could go to on the Gold Coast, and there was nothing. Yeah. Like I think I Googled it, I searched Smashboards, I searched Meetup, like I searched a few things, and like there was nothing on the Gold Coast at the time. And
so the question is,
I feel like I was lucky to find some link in some Smash post to some Facebook group that like kind of connected me just enough to meet one person who talked to me and
explained the situation. So the question is, right, how many people like you did some searching, was interested in getting into the scene, and then couldn't find anything and gave up?
Totally.
So for every Ryan McLean, how many Bob Dolls are there that didn't find the scene, didn't get involved, but would have been really into it if they had?
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing you can do. I mean, there's probably, I don't know what kind of effect it would have. Probably if you get it done before the next documentary comes out, because if the next documentary probably will cause another wave of people interested in the game, maybe if it's good enough.
Yeah, which is meant to be the end of this year or the start of next year.
Yeah, winter or so summer for us, I guess. But so that's definitely something that could help.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm not sure. Do you have any other ideas?
No, well, I think like that's like it is making it easier to find stuff, but yeah, like it's not super easy to do to make it easy to find stuff. Like you kind of need to run your own website, like queenslandsmash.com. Like they have a list of stuff, but
upcoming events, yeah.
Well, like as you said, like it's kind of good for Queensland, but then like it's kind of confusing for the rest of Australia because the main website's called Queensland Smash, and I don't know.
I mean,
feel like
even the most recent UQ had lots and lots of new people. So like, obviously, the university plays a role in getting that kind of thing to happen, getting lots of new people into the scene.
yeah.
The question is
Well, I'm just
kind of
thinking,
like,
given Gold Coast, we don't have people like at uni. No one's running like anything at a
No.
uni. For us to grow Gold Coast, that's not really an option for us.
No,
Like
Griffith.
that's so good for UQ, and that's been
Yeah.
done so well. But then like Griffith, like nothing's happening there.
but that doesn't come for free. That's like dedicated Lachlan Firth running everything tightly.
Yeah,
If it's not for people like that, like it's just not going to happen.
totally.
And it could have happened on the Gold Coast. Like we definitely have people who go to like Griffith Gold Coast campus who play Melee, but
Yeah.
no one there is like, they're not interested enough, or they're not willing to put their hand up and like do that and organize it all. Because otherwise, it could totally be a very similar situation to UQ, where we have regular meets at the tournament. Like we did have that one tournament at Griffith Gold
Yeah.
Coast, and then they changed the policy and they made it hard. So, because Lane from Griffith Nathan campus actually booked that for us. No
Yeah.
one from Griffith Gold Coast campus actually did that. That was our friends up in Brisbane who did that for us. And now you can't do that anymore. So I mean, that
you can't
killed
book
that.
for a different campus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They changed the policy, and so now you would require someone to like start up their own Griffith. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
yeah. And the thing is, the reason why universities are so popular for events is because the venue fee
Yeah.
is super cheap.
Super cheap.
It's
very
hard to
important.
find like a cheap venue. Like I think I was looking
Very
into
important.
it, and it's like you could get a scout hall, which wouldn't be super awesome. Kind of scout hall in semi the middle of nowhere on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And it was like $150.
That's right. No, you can do so the two Gold Coast tournaments that were held on the Gold Coast in 2014ish, right? I think they were held at like a community center in Helensvale. And the venue fee was still like a lot, but that wasn't too bad. Like if you go super super cheap, like it's still more expensive than a university, but it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's hard to do. Like we're so lucky that we got like the good games on the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
to
good game's
meet
pretty good.
every Tuesday night, and it's only
pretty good.
$5 if we run an event. Well, it's good. Like for me, organizing like a tournament, there's no risk because if 4 people show up, it makes no difference. Like I'm
Yeah.
not committing to a $200 venue fee or something like that. And,
That's right.
Or you need to
it's-
charge. And like venue, like entry fees only $5, and like the Melee community, they all seem to be really poor. So I feel like if you're charging $15 entry fee, that's going to deter a lot of people from coming.
Yeah,
Because
a lot of people surprisingly, yeah.
you have like I think up like Sunshine Coast or Caboolture or something like that, they have a much more expensive venue fee, like in terms of like $10 or $15 or something like
Yeah.
that. And then I think like Kami went and he won it, and he kind of got like his fee back plus a little bit more because he
'Cause the
ended up
venue
paying
fee's so
like
much.
$20 to go in the tournament, and only $5 goes towards the pot.
That's right.
But I guess most of us don't.
They're all really dedicated up there, though. Like, everyone brings like 4 setups to their tournaments and stuff. Like, you go to a UQ and no one's brought any setups. Like, all the setups are brought by like 4 people out of the
That's thing. You got
45
Sneechin,
entrants.
You got Kami, you got Psych, and they
Yeah,
bring
and Skype
like
sometimes bring like Skype actually brought like 3 to the last one. I'm pretty sure 2 or
Yeah.
3. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And now I've got 2.5 setups. I got like
Yeah.
3. I got 3 TVs. Actually, I got 4 TVs now, but one of them's really crap. The one that like squashes the image.
The black one, the tiny one, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think like I would love to run like a weekend one on the Gold Coast, but I just don't have the time or like the effort to do it. Or like even to attend a full day tournament for me on the weekend is kind of like a
it's
big
a big commitment.
sacrifice
Yeah,
for the family.
I understand.
I was talking about like doing a weekly tournament on the Gold Coast and thinking about that. What do you think about like running?
Moving down Smash from a monthly to a weekly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think we could? I think monthly at the moment. I think it's at a pretty good spot. I think if you move it to a weekly, you kind of. I mean, obviously that increases the price, like the entry, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you'll necessarily get like once it's weekly, you're not necessarily going to get someone from Brisbane down every single week, right? You're not going to get all the Brisbane people down. So maybe not yet. If the scene grows like twice as much, then maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. I reckon if the scene grew enough that we could have more than like 12 people that would come just from the Gold Coast or something and would come most weeks. And then if you get people from Brisbane, great. Then I think it would be doable. But like some weeks, like often if Rob doesn't come, right, a lot of Brisbane people hinge on whether or not Rob comes.
Rob's going, yeah.
And so if he doesn't go, then often like a lot of people don't go. And so like I think the week before Down Smash, you were there was 4 of us.
Yeah, that's right.
Like so some weeks we have 4. Last week we had 8. Some weeks we like I think our best is like 14 or 15 people for a week. So yeah, I think if the scene grows more, then it'd be worth like exploring the idea. I'm just like throwing a bunch of ideas at the wall. I call it throwing shit against the wall, and eventually something's going to stick.
Yeah, I mean, trying stuff is the way to go. Like, you never know if you're going to find something that actually works really well.
Yeah, and I think in terms of like running events and stuff, having more setups definitely makes the events run better. And I think people seem to enjoy it more if the event like runs smoothly. Like one of the things that's a massive pain in the ass for UQ events is like Melee is kind of like the side game because like it's mainly for Smash 4. And so like, as you said, in terms of setups, like it really like depends, who brings them. Like the last tournament, it basically had like 1 TV per pool. So you've got like...
It was pretty rough.
And I think my pool had like 6 people in it. And so 1 TV for like 6 people. It just takes ages to like get through everything. And then you've got doubles that they play as well. And then, it just takes
and there's
so long.
no time for friendlies. Because,
you
they always need to be used for something.
When you're not playing a match, you're kind of just standing around doing nothing.
Yeah, so that's no good, I don't think. I think you definitely need more setups. I think the venue itself is a little bit small for how big the tournaments are getting as well.
Yeah.
Like if there were less people, then I think the amount of setups and the amount of stuff that was going on would be more reasonable. But I mean, that last UQ was pretty big in terms of how many people were around, so it was hard to support it all.
We only get like 3 tables, like 3 quite large round tables, but still like it's kind of very squashed. And like I noticed that the 2 setups in the back, you had to walk past another setup in order to get there. So if someone was playing, like you couldn't get to like the back setups. And then like people stink.
Yeah, no, that it gets pretty bad sometimes.
What was it? It was a couple of UQs ago, and we're like sitting there on like your setup, and you're like, someone smells like shit. Like someone's done a shit in their
Someone
pants.
actually did. That's what it smelled like, though. It actually smelled like that. I still don't know if it was a person or if it was something to do with the vents or something, but it was awful. It was
right at that spot too. I just thought it was so funny because like in most situations, like you just wouldn't call that out. You'd like kind of whisper to your friend like, oh, does someone smell like shit? Yeah, like they smell really bad. But you were just like yelling it out. You're like, someone's done a poo in their pants.
It's important. You can't. I mean, that was a really, really bad experience for everyone in that room. Like you have to call it out. You have to bring attention to it. Like if it turned out to be someone with like a medical problem or something, then I would feel bad about it, obviously. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you can't. That's no good. You can't go to a tournament and just be smelling shit all day. Like that's not sustainable. That's not gonna happen. That's just not something you can abide by and let that happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky for our next tournament at the Gold Coast. We're getting like almost all of the shop. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, because we talked to him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so that'll be good.
As long as we
usually
tell
we're shoved to like 3 tables, and we're like, how the hell do we make this work? It's hard to do. Like,
what's going on with DBZ then? I wonder, like, where are they moving? Because the night we have our tournaments is the same night as the Dragon Ball Z card game people, right?
Yeah.
So are they still going to be there, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, he said he's going to move shelves around. So like there's some floating shelves and stuff like that. So he said he can move those, and he's going to put the card tables like between where the people play the fighter games and between the like cash register. He said he's going to like fit them in there.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as it works. I mean, I trust the owners of GG to take care of us. I think we can rely on them to help us out like that if we need more space. I do wonder if the turnout's going to be so big, because I mean it's going to be after BAM, right? I don't know how keen people will be to hop into the tournament straight away after BAM.
Yeah,
they might all be smashed out after that for a while.
No, the thing is, right? There's BAM, which is this weekend, and then there's UQ tournament. Usually it's the last week of the month, and it's been pushed to like the first week of June. And so ours is like the first Tuesday of the month. And so I think like UQ, It's like the Tuesday after UQ or something like that. I'm just going to try and bring this up.
Yeah. So
like it's literally like 3 days after the last tournament.
Yeah, see, so that's problematic because, you know, if there's too many tournaments in a close time period, it makes it, you know, less likely that people are going to attend them all.
Okay, so there's one, there's UQ Smash on the 21st of May. So that means there's one BAM this weekend, then UQ is next weekend, then the June UQ has been pushed forward to the 4th of June. And
the what?
It's been
the June UQ.
The June one. So we've got like May 21st, then there's like a 1 week break. And then the next one.
Yeah, I don't know how much support we'll get from the community, like, you know, if everyone will actually turn up to that one. So it'll be funny if, you know, we ask him to make lots of room for us and then no one turns up.
I know. Should we change the date?
No, I think we should stick to it. Like, there are enough people that are interested. Like, probably Thriles and his 3 people turn up.
Yeah. Well, they came last week, which was really good. And they're from I didn't realize they were from the Gold Coast. I got told they were from like the Logan region. But like Thralls is
Rabina.
Like, they're all like Rabina, Varsity, or one guy's from Tweed. And
so that's pretty cool. I mean, if he keeps, you know, one of the other ways people get involved in the scene is like friends of friends get involved as well, right? So
yeah,
it's all word of mouth. There's a lot of it.
Well, and then one of the things like I'm trying to do as well is like when someone does come, trying to like get their name, add them on Facebook, add them to the Gold Coast Smash Facebook page. And I probably should. Apparently, I've been made an admin of that, which I didn't even know. I just saw that as
of the Gold Coast Smash. Yeah, Nico did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe I should be adding like the
people
weekly
to it.
like events on there.
Yeah, for like new people, even just like, you know, being friendly and like maybe just messaging them on Facebook, oh, you're going to come tomorrow or whatever. Like that kind of thing can actually usually help a lot.
Yeah.
For people who might not go or like they could go but they don't know like if they go, if they're just going to stand around and do nothing. Like I haven't seen Trank in a while.
I know what happened. I don't
know, dude.
People were like making him rage, and I hope it didn't like scare him away.
Poor guy. I think that's part of it, honestly, because I don't know.
I know he's a good guy, but he just gets tilted too easy, and I think people take advantage of that.
He sure does. Yeah, it's a shame because he's a good player.
Yeah. So I think it's hard as well because no one posts anything in the Facebook group, like so it's not like there's no community happening there. It's just like it's just there. Nothing. I feel like I don't want to post anything because I'm the only person who ever posts something. Like, if you look at like the last,
don't let that stop you.
Like,
don't let that stop you.
I'm going into it now. I swear, of the last like 10 posts or something, I've done.
You're like 8 of them.
Okay, so if you don't count the post when Nico made me an admin, then it's like 1, 2, 3. Nico put up a picture that I created, so I'm claiming that. 4. Then Andrew put up one of him adjusting the tier list.
Yeah.
But
he did it last time as well. So
basically, it's basically all.
Wait,
me.
so you made that tier list? You did it in Photoshop or whatever?
Yeah, I just did it in a site called Canva. Like I spoke to like Nico about it, and he kind of gave me the tier list, and like he only wanted to do like 10 people, and I was like, it's dumb doing a power ranking. We were both talking about it, and we're like, it's dumb doing a power ranking for a region that has like 13 people or something. I'm like, so we may as well just like feature everyone who regularly comes and just put it on there.
Now we know Thralls has to be on the next one, right?
Yeah, well then there's Thralls, there's Booins,
yeah.
Phil, his tag's Philippe. So if they keep coming to events, then...
I mean, I wasn't on for the last few. Like, this is the first one I've been on.
Yeah, the last one I was on, but you weren't.
Yeah.
But I think you started coming consistently just after they, like, released that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, like, I was on with my old tag as well, so, I don't know. Now that I'm admin, I guess I can adjust it as often as we need to, but, every 6 months or something, probably update that.
Something like that, yeah. I think that's a good way of getting people involved as well. Like if they're on the power ranking, they can think of themselves as being part of the scene. I think that helps them.
Well, that's the thing. It's just kind of encouraging people, like recognizing the people that regularly come and just saying like, here's where you're at, and then kind of inspiring them to be better. Like I remember when I was first put on it, I think I was the very bottom on like the C tier. And I was like, but I was inspired to like, there is like a ranking. My name is on there. Like I'd love to move up that. And like, even though it just sat there and nothing happened, you're always thinking, okay, this person's above me. Like, I want to get better. I want to move up and stuff like that. So I don't know. It helped me. And when I was talking to Nico about it, he's like, when we're thinking, is this a power ranking? Isn't it? He's like, if it's a power ranking, you don't want to feature everyone. And then I'm like, yeah, but our scene is so small that you kind of want to feature people and get them like involved in it. Hey, I beat Thralls. Hey.
Sorry?
I beat Thralls at
Did you?
we ran a bracket on Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Came down to like 5th game, last stock. Like,
that's sweet, dude.
So
yeah, no, it always happens that way for me as well. Like, it's always fairly close. He's I don't know. Like, I don't think he's actually that good, but I don't know. I keep doing stupid stuff. You know how like when you play like Nico or Rob, right? He doesn't like they don't miss their follow ups, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes against Thralls, like you'll DI up and in as a mix up, and he'll just miss the follow up.
But I think it's probably an unfair advantage because we play against Nico and Rob, who are like the 2 best Captain Falcons in Queensland. Yeah. And we play against them consistently, and then playing against Thralls.
I don't play Nico and Rob that often. Really.
Oh, really?
Like I don't even play them in friendlies that often, so I don't know.
Oh, I feel like I'm always like getting destroyed by Rob.
I wish I'd get more games with Rob in. That'd be fun.
But I feel like it definitely gives us an advantage. Like when I go to a UQ, if I'm playing against a Falcon, that is like one of my least nervous matchups.
Like you kind of get what's going on there. Well, that's the thing,
like because you spend so much time getting like 3 or 4 stocked by like Rob and Nico, and just getting like, as soon as they get an opening, they're juggling you in the air into like a double knee death or something.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely
And then you play against another Falcon and they miss that.
They're not scared.
And you're like, oh my gosh,
scary.
I'm living. What's going on? And then
I would be dead by now usually, yeah.
Yeah, and then so many things that they do against you, you get used to like shielding it or predicting it. And then when a Falcon does the same thing but they don't do it as tight, then you can like get a shield grab out of it or like a nair out of shield or something. Like
yeah, absolutely. I think, it helps. But just in general, I don't think I have... Like, there's only so many good players in Queensland, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm not playing one of those people, like, I never feel like I'm going to lose anyway. Like, I'm not even good, but at the same time, like, I'm at the stage where I can win amateur bracket without even having to think about it too hard. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
At UQ, right? So it's like, it doesn't, like, my performance against people that aren't better than me doesn't matter.
Well, that's the thing. I'm at the point now where I don't want to end up in amateur bracket because I feel like it would be too easy. At least until like winners finals, Lunas finals, grand finals. I'm not sure how I'd go. I haven't run my way through, but
I mean, it depends who's in there. Like if I have to play, I don't know, like Darkfire again, because Darkfire's not like, he's about my level, but he plays Sheik and he kind of just like...
Yeah, he's good against Sheik.
No, Jesus Christ. That was rough. I kind of want to play him again just to see, like, maybe I was just on tilt that day. Maybe next time it won't go so badly.
But that was months... Are you talking about when you were in grand finals
when I was in grand finals against him and he 6-0'd me.
That was like six
I haven't
plus
played him
months
since
ago.
then. I haven't played him since then.
Yeah, he doesn't end up in... Because he's seated above me, I think. So he never ends up in...
Amateur bracket
anymore.
I don't go on an amateur bracket either.
And I think 2 UQs ago or something, he came like 3rd or 4th. But like, this was... I think Snow and Syke weren't there.
That's right, yeah. No, he came 5th and I came 7th that tournament. I didn't play him, but that's what happened.
Yeah, but I remember
I got double eliminated by Gareth.
Bummer. It sucks to get double eliminated by someone.
Oh well. Gareth's pretty good. I mean, he's in Spud's pool. Should do well.
Yeah.
Pretty keen. That'd be a really good upset, I reckon.
Do you think it'll happen, though? Upsets rarely happen.
It doesn't matter. It could happen.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
And what's getting streamed for BAM?
Everything. Pretty sure everything. There's a really good streamer from, I think he's South Australia, Kaiser.
How do you spell this? K? I'm going to have to go on UQ.
I mean, that's his name, but it's going to be probably streamed on Melbourne Melee, same as last BAM.
Yeah, I'm thinking...
But I mean, you remember the quality of the stream at last BAM, right?
No, see, last BAM, I had only just got into Melee, and I like had just gotten Twitch, and I turned it on, and there was like a tournament on in Australia with like lots of people watching, and I watched like 20 minutes here or there maybe, but like
that was a very special event.
yeah, well,
I
we
watched
had
that as well.
internationals coming. I'm like, what the
But
heck?
you remember
is
the
going
quality,
on?
right? The quality is pretty good.
I can't remember.
Well, if you go back, you just look on YouTube and you just look up BAM8 X, someone versus anyone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the quality is super solid. So you can pretty much expect that again. I would say.
Oh yeah,
But maybe
Kaiser.
better, right?
I'm finding him here. I'm just thinking of people like.
But that's just a guy that he streams it. So I think he's from South Australia.
I'm just thinking of people to interview to try and learn from, because our stream, my
definitely
stream
talk
is
to him.
shit. It's so bad.
Definitely talk to him. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna talk. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him, and yeah, see if we can work it out, like to stream better on the Gold Coast. Again, streaming was like one of those ideas that I had that I thought, okay, this could be cool, but it ended up being so much harder than I thought it would be. Like,
Yeah.
the upload
it's not
speed is just
simple.
terrible. It's like zero 0.4 megabits a second or something like that.
Yeah, it's shocking. But ADSL.
Yeah, it's really bad. So I don't know. I like wanted to stream because I heard, like, I think it was Russell or something. He got into the scene because he saw someone streaming, and then he TO'd a whole bunch of events. And it's like, one of those people that came into the community and just kind of discovered it by accident. So I was like, oh, I'd like to stream, so hopefully more people can find us.
Yeah,
But
I mean, stuff like that definitely helps.
Pardon?
Stuff like that definitely helps. Like, I mean, the more ways you're around on the internet, I think the more ways you can be discovered, and the more ways the scene can be discovered, and they get involved in the scene, right? So,
Yeah.
I think streaming is good, and from that perspective.
Well, that's the thing. And then even like the interviews that I'm doing with pro smashers and stuff like that, if people discover those and then realize, okay, this guy's from Australia, there's an Australian scene, or this guy's from the Gold Coast, and like someone from the Gold Coast might watch it and then like come to one of our events because of it.
No, everything helps, I think.
Yeah. Even
The more you do.
even this conversation will hopefully help.
Maybe not this one, but in aggregate, it all helps.
Yeah. And what are okay, let's close it off soon because it's been over an hour. In terms of you wanting to get better, what are your like goals and plans for Smash? Do you have any, or is this just like a hobby you enjoy? Do you want to get good at it?
I think it'd be nice to get good at it, but I think I know what it would take for me to like I know what I would do if I wanted to get better, right? I mean, I want to get better, but if I was really committed to getting better, I know what that would look like and what I would be doing, and I don't do that.
What would you be doing? What would you be doing?
I'd be practicing. I'd be grinding. I'd be doing the Armada, practicing combos.
Would you change mains?
Flowcharting. Maybe. Peach is definitely like the my attempt at top results, minimal effort. That was the Peach call. That was how can I get the best possible results with the minimum possible effort? And the answer is Marth to begin with. But then you can only get so far with Marth, I think, at low level. And then the next answer is Peach. And Peach is the noob slayer up until another point. And then eventually, I think, the next step is Falco.
Really?
I think so. I think lasers and auto combos are pretty doable.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think maybe Peach might actually be the next level up. Who knows? But if I actually want to get better, I could definitely do it with Peach. Like, I don't think necessarily I would change mains. But it would be actually practicing. It would be doing more research than just random trivia. It would actually be like directed research into like flowchart combos, and then also getting my muscle memory down so I could do it all consistently. Like, I know what it would look like, but I don't do it. So I don't know.
I don't know. I think if we ever do this chat again, I totally want to get like your insight on how to do research around Melee, because you know all this stuff that like I have no idea about. Even flowchart, like researching flowchart combos and stuff like that. I would have no idea how to do that or how to get started.
I do a little bit of that already. Like some of the flowcharts are really easy. For example, right, the flowchart for after Peach gets a grab on a fast faller on FD is you chain grab them and then you kill them.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like I learned that because I realized, okay, I don't have to learn a particularly detailed flowchart for that, because the only thing I have to worry about is how they're going to DI and what I have to do to cover that DI. Like there's no...
Okay.
There's a really small, narrow flowchart all the way up, and that's all I have to remember. So I'm pretty good at that. I can do all the chain grabs.
So one of the things with the chain grabs for me is probably just lack of knowledge, is in terms of what percent they can get out of it. Because I think Thriles, we ended up striking to FD, and I beat him on FD. He went back to FD. I beat him again. He went back, and then he won. So we played 3 games on FD. So in that time, I got a few chain grabs in. I think I got like 2 kills off it. But a couple of times he got out, or I'd go for the final like up throw to Nair and I'd miss because he'd be too high or something like that.
Now all of this is, it's all what's the word?
Predictable.
It's not predictable. It's all it's all been collated. Like it's all there. It's all there. You like the percentages, what you're supposed to do at each percentage.
Yeah.
It's all been researched. It's been done by other people ages ago, and it's all available online.
Yeah. So where do you find this? Where would I find
this? It's on Smashboards. So go into that. Like recently, there's been a big collection of all the different Peach stuff, and on Smashboards, if you go to like the Great Peach Guide something,
so
the Peach
I'm on Smashboards
Encyclopedia.
Now. Do I go to guides?
No, go to characters, melee characters. And then the Great Peach Cyclopedia or something like that. I can't remember what it's actually called. And then somewhere, maybe in, I don't know, like halfway into the thing, there'll be like chain grab percentages or something. And then it'll have like a graph with what you're supposed to do at every percentage at every DI.
Okay. I'm in guides for Peach, and it's currently saying there are no guides to display. Am I
not guides. You go
something?
character. You just go to character. Melee characters, and then go into the Peach forum.
All right. So in the forums, right?
Yeah, in the forums.
Okay. So I go to Melee.
Go to Melee. Melee characters.
Let's
go to the Peach forums.
Melee character discussion. Okay. Yeah. All right, here's all the characters.
Peach.
Where are you, Peach? Where is she? There she is. Peach. Okay. And then which one is it?
There should be like a Great Peach Cyclopedia or something like that. Like, just read out the titles in the stickies.
The Grand Encyclopedia.
Hey, that's it. The Grand Encyclopedia. That's it. Click that.
Oh, okay. Shit.
And then that has everything you need to know about Peach.
So this is something that I need to like go through.
Oh, this is recent. Yeah, this came out.
Oh, chain grab table.
There you go, chain grab table.
Okay, against Fox.
So that's a really easy flowchart, right? But I mean, there's other flowcharts, right? So for example, on like what you're supposed to do at each percentage after you upthrow someone onto a platform on any of the other stages, right? Like it's really clear what you're supposed to do. Like there's a specific thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go up there and then up air their mistech or up air their tech in place, or otherwise land and then like regrab or something like that. Like you can pretty much do your own research with the flowchart. And I think if I was really serious about it, I would just do that.
What is this? Okay, I'm looking at the chain grab against Fox. And it's saying when your port is closer to port 1 or when your port's closer to port 4.
So if you're closer to port 4, then there's one extra frame of you can think about it as you have one extra frame to work with.
What do you mean? So do port 1 and 2 have like a frame of lag or something?
Yeah, so the way it works is if you're closer to port 1, if you both grab at the same time, like the grab boxes intersect at the same time, the one closer to port 1 will win, and they will get the grab, or something like that. I think it's
port 1 has like preference.
Yeah, so it has preference there, and also if you both die at the same time in specific situations, like
port 1 will win.
Port 1 has an advantage. Like, it's not necessarily like, you know how there's sudden death if you both die at the same time as well? Like, there are specific situations where port 1 will win, right?
Okay, so is this... All right, this may sound like a dumb question, but is this why 20XX, they say the only thing that'll make a difference, everyone will play Fox, the only thing that'll make a difference is what port you choose?
Yeah, so that's port priority, yeah.
That's because port 1 has priority over...
In specific situations, yeah. But port 4 is better for chain grabbing because there's an extra frame of lag for the opponent. Like they're in hit stun or something for one extra frame. I don't know the specifics. I've forgotten. I can't say it off the top of my head. But the point is, the percentages at which it'll work, like it extends the chain grab percentage by like 10, 20% or something like that.
Yeah.
In specific situations at specific DI and all that stuff, right? But that's why instead of when I rock paper scissors someone a fast faller for stage picks, right? I usually give them stage picks and I just take port 4, or I plug in a port 4 and I don't tell them because most people don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's a really stupid thing, but
most people
I think
don't
it
know.
makes
So really, I should be choosing port 4 if I'm playing against a fast faller.
a fast faller. If you're planning on chain grabbing them, absolutely.
Okay.
Like you get an extra frame. It's a free frame. Just take it.
Yeah, I did not know this because I'm looking at like against Fox when you choose closer to port 1 at like 105 to 116% is kind of like when you can start doing your finishes.
Yeah.
But then when you're in port 4, it's kind of like you get an extra couple of percent to play with.
It's important, I think. And more important than just like the percentage range at which the chain grabs will work, right? It'll make the execution of the actual chain grab themselves easier.
Yeah.
Like you can be one frame later when you're port 4 and you'll still get the chain grab when you might not have gotten it otherwise.
Yeah. Which
so
is
like
super
Yeah, I mean, if you miss your dash or like your back dash is slow or something like that, right? Like if something happens and you're just late, like it gives you more leniency, which is important, I think.
It's only one frame, but hey, one frame.
You got to take every little advantage you can get, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, I didn't know this stuff existed because I'm like, it's whether they DI away, whether they don't DI, or
I
they
swear
DI
I've linked
behind.
this to you. I've linked this to you like 3 times.
Have you sent this to me?
Yeah, like 3 times. And no, Lane has linked it to you like twice before as well.
Has he?
Like in group chats, yeah. No, it's happened.
Okay, it must just be me being too lazy to
There's some, but there's stuff like this everywhere. Like if you look at the Grand Encyclopedia, right, like half of those articles are written by Quets as well, like that guy I was talking about before.
See, I think one of my problems is like I love videos and watching videos, or even like listening to podcasts or something like that.
No, videos suck.
But like
there aren't many good videos around.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's not that many good videos. There's like MacD's, like his guide.
Yeah, but that's like super basic stuff. Yeah.
And there's one by CDK on how to practice his peach, but that's kind of it. And then all the rest is like reading. Like, this is great to look at, but it's pretty boring. Like,
I think it's really interesting. I mean, this is where I get all my frame data stuff from.
Yeah. So this is how. So you find this interesting, and I find this overwhelming and slightly boring to like read through all this.
I mean, I think it's exciting because you get to the meat of it. You don't have to wait for someone to like say, "Oh, hey guys, I'm blah blah blah, and I'm gonna talk to you about how to do peach thingos." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I just wanna know what percentages does this work on?" And I can just like Control F search like Fox whatever, and it'll just be there for me, right?
Yeah.
It saves time in the long run.
But I guess the hardest thing for me is like you are good at researching this stuff, you know, like what to research and what to look at, and I don't. And so videos are great for me because I just sit down and someone just tells me shit.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, I suppose there are advantages other way. Like, I think I have a pretty good idea of like what I would do if I wanted to get better anyways. Like, it would definitely be a case of... Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, to begin with, right, there's a lot of guaranteed stuff. Right? I mean, chain grabs is an example of guaranteed stuff, but at the same time, like, there's a guaranteed in terms of, like, there's a clear best thing to do in a situation. Like, if someone dash attacks the back of your shield, right? Like, you could not do anything, or you could nair them, right? And obviously the nair is better. There's a lot of situations like that in Melee where you might as well take the free punish, right? And so when you get a grab on someone, like, you should know what the best options for you are, right?
Yeah. See, this is something that I wish was mapped out in one simple thing that's like from starting off as Peach to, you know, like in the early days, here's the like biggest move sets that you need to learn. Like chain grabbing's one of them, like nairing out of shield, like this sort of stuff. Like,
I mean, it's all there. It's all there. It's all around.
I know it's all there, but it's all like in many different...
I mean, everyone disagrees as well. Like, I mean, I'm sure like someone would disagree with me to the extent how important what I'm saying these flowchart kind of combos are, right?
Yeah.
I think someone would completely disagree with me and just say, no, you should just make your movement really, really good and then play neutral better, and then like the punishes will come more naturally to you or something, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's reasonable as well. I think that's completely reasonable.
And I guess
obviously, I'm not actually good yet, so like I don't know, like if I did spend hours and hours perfecting my flowchart combos and then I get beaten by some intuition peach. Like, I mean, that could totally happen.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's the different ways you approach the game, because you're like, I choose peach because it's the least amount of effort to get the maximum result. And so stuff like this, like flowcharts on chain grabs are like zero effort in terms of practicing. You just need to know what to do in each situation.
No, I mean, it's not effort. I mean, everyone, at the end of the day, like, I think for every character it's the same. Like, the flowchart combos, I think you should know. Like, for example, knowing, I mean, it's just a case of not taking the free stuff. Like, if you end up in a situation, like, how often have you ended up in a situation in a game where, like, you have the initiative to do something? Like, if you have a tech chase on someone, right, and you have lots of different options, in general, like, there's only going to be, like, one, like you should know. No, I'm not putting this very well, but my point is just that there aren't, like, you can play neutral, and neutral's kind of like this nebulous, weird thing where how do you get your first hit and all that kind of stuff, right? And then that's its own thing.
Yeah.
But that's hard. That's really difficult to, like, get better at, I think. I think a lot of that is intuitive. A lot of that is, like, that's difficult. That's kind of like, I can't approach that very easily. But Punish game is different. Punish game, your opponent only has a few different options.
Yeah.
You can react to it all, right?
So, for example,
ideally,
like, I think on Tuesday night, I had Rob in a grab quite a few times, and there was a platforms on the level, so I decided to, like, down throw, and then he can only tech a certain number of ways.
Yeah, I mean, the point is, like, you might as well maximize what you get out of interaction like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason not to, is the way I see it. So if I did want to get better, like, that would be, like, one of the first things I would do. I'd maximize all my Punish game stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But I just think, like, in terms of, like, getting better, I have a pretty clear idea of, like, what I would do. I just not doing it.
I'm just trying to work out, okay, say I wanted to maximize my Punish game, and I'm happy to, like, read guides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do I know which guides to read?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be guides. Like, in the case of the chain grab, there's obviously a guide there, and it makes it easy, right? But otherwise, you pretty much, like, watch what Armada does in any given situation, and then make sure you know how to do exactly how to do that particular punish.
Yeah.
And then see what's possible at different DIs. Like, it really is just a case of, like, saying, what happens here? What are my options here? What are the best ones? Like, I mean, that's what Hungrybox did recently, and that's why he's so much better recently, right?
Yeah.
He pretty much just said,
I'm having is my brain, like, doesn't work that way as easily as yours. Like, I can't just see, okay, Armada does this, but in my mind think, okay, what would happen in different DI situations? You don't have to, like, think. Like, you can literally test it yourself, right? Get your son to say, just hold the control stick this way for me, and then combo him 20 times, trying different options out, and eventually just get it down, and then say, okay, now hold it down instead, and then he can hold down. You can combo him 20 times when he holds down instead. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can use 20x. I wish 20xx was a little bit better than that. Like, if Melee had a really nice training mode, like a really well thought out, like, optimized for competitive play training modes, then I probably would have done this a lot earlier.
Yeah,
but
well, that's
the
thing.
20xx
like,
training mode is,
if you could set the DI on each given hit.
That's right. And then you could work it out yourself, what's for the best at each percentage, etc., right?
Yeah.
But the training mode in, like, vanilla Melee is not useful.
No. Well,
I mean, you can set percentages. You can set percentages, but you can't use the C stick. You can't set their DI. So it's of limited use, right? Yeah. And then the 20xx version is glitchy, and it always crashes every time I try to load state. So that's not very useful either. And you can't, I don't think you can set DI properly either for that either, right? Can you? Can you set DI for?
Not that I know of. But
not that I know of.
If anyone would know, it would be Matt. Like, he said he was playing around with, like, the debug menu because he's Sheik player, and he's like, he would make Sheik fall asleep anytime he tried to roll.
Yeah.
So, like, to stop him rolling, he could do that. I'm like, dude, I would have no idea.
You can lose the stock if you roll. Yeah. Like, that's an option. It's just you immediately die if you roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just lose the stock.
You can find
There's cool
that
stuff
sort
like
of
that.
stuff.
No, it's in the debug menu. It's really easy to find. It's actually like super simple. But
The debug menu is like so ugly though, and it's like the worst user interface. And someone like, I'm used to using like an iPhone and a Mac computer when it's like, if you want to install an application, you like drag it into the apps folder. If you want to delete it, you drag it into the bin. Like,
no, it's not the most user friendly in the world. It's like it's functional. That's what it is.
yeah, it's functional for like tech people, but for non-tech friendly people, it's definitely like not ideal. Have you
It
played
doesn't look
against
nice.
the new AI?
No, not yet. Oh, actually, I played a little bit at the Down Smash tournament because what's his name? Kami brought his setup with the new 20XX on it.
Yeah.
And I spent, I don't know, like I just played 2 4-stock games against some of the AI, and whoa, it's pretty crazy.
It's good. Hey, I had my first experience with it this week, and I just played like 1 stock against a Fox. But it was Fox on level 1, so I'm thinking, okay, he might, have some different recovery options or something like that. But Fox level 1 is not level 1. It was like...
You change it doesn't matter. You change the level, it doesn't actually matter too much. It doesn't change too much.
Yeah, but it was crazy, like doing multi-shines and like all this crazy sort of stuff. But then a lot of dumb stuff as well that like no person would ever do, and it's like... Yeah, so it's not perfect, but it's definitely...
It's better than the old 20XX, I think.
Well, I feel like that's an AI that you could practice against some, like, and you feel...
Well, the DI is still
you.
randomized, so if you want to practice your combos, that's still really good. So after you've done all your flowcharting and you know what the combos are supposed to be, then it's really, really good because then the DI is all mixed up so you can actually practice all your different combos on that Fox, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean...
But then that's the same as regular 20XX.
Yeah. So neutral game, still not that useful. But at least they're moving differently and stuff. Yeah. You can kind of shadow box a bit, right? Like PP says. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go through like these flowcharts and practice my chain grabs because like I'll get a lot of them, but then they'll get out at 100 and something %, and then I've still got to kill them. And often they'll get a couple of hits in before I kill them. So working this shit out is definitely going to be worth it.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like Melee is really like complex as well. So you can't get everything down, but having a really, really good general idea of like what you're supposed to be doing at any time is a good idea. Because I mean, the combo changes where you are on the stage. Every individual percentage change matters. Like everything matters. A little bit of SDI changes everything, But having a good idea roughly of what you're supposed to be doing is because at the moment I'm clueless. Like I actually don't know what punishes look like. My punishes are nair, and then if they're close enough, nair them again. Or like fair, and then tech chase, and use like down smash to tech chase. Like my punishes are completely like they're 2004 Peach level.
Yeah. Well, I've just found a guide on down throw, up throw follow-ups on Marth.
Yeah.
Peach and Sheik. Oh, dude. This is...
I know them already. Down throw. I just down throw, and then it's dash attack if they DI back, and then nair if they DI away.
Yeah.
That's easy.
But at certain percents and stuff like that. See, I don't know. Comboing Marth, I find, is really hard. I just discovered like a combo the other night. I don't know exactly what percentage it was, but if you can pop them up in the air, you can do an up air to nair guaranteed. Well, it felt guaranteed, but it could not be. But like a 3-hit combo for me against Marth is like so
big
amazing.
Deal. Yeah. Nah, it's I think there's stuff there. Like there's definitely like it's not like it's difficult to get better necessarily. You just got to put the time in, got to put the lab hours in, got to put the effort in.
Yeah.
I think the pathway is definitely there.
The scariest thing is that you could spend time working on stuff that isn't optimal, or you could have been doing something else that will give you a higher return faster.
Yeah, absolutely. But what is that going to be necessary? Like at the moment, the best thing you can do is work on what you think can give you the highest rate of return at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And then you work out all that stuff. I don't think chain grabs are necessarily like the best thing to do, right? But I don't think chain grabs change either. Like that's part of the reason why I learned that fairly early was because I don't think chain grabs are going to become non-optimal for a while yet.
Yeah. Well, it's basically guaranteed, isn't it?
It's all guaranteed, so it's like, why not?
Yeah, and I think that was one of the things you said to me, this would have been a while back, is like, yeah, this is a high like reward thing. You should definitely practice this. And I like practiced it for a week before a tournament, and I definitely got to use it a couple of times. It was before I went to New Zealand, I think, and then I was playing a Falcon in New Zealand and we went to FD because it was his favorite stage. Like he chose it as his counter pick or something, and then like I think I chain grabbed every stock like from him, but he got super frustrated and didn't do the right things. So like he wouldn't DI away, or he just got so frustrated at the end he did no DI, and so
DI. Oh, I love it when that happens.
So it's so free. Up to like 160% or more before I did the kill, and then even like when I did the like nair or something, he wasn't DIing at all.
That's right.
And so it's just like free, and he just got so frustrated, and then he like he came up and apologized to me afterwards for like getting upset during it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it hasn't been done to you before, I'm sure it would frustrate you a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, he was saying like he plays against Cub T on that stage, and hasn't been chain grabbed or something, or he doesn't.
Cub T's rubbish then, because that's free.
I know. So good.
Cub T. I don't know. Did you see his post on Facebook?
Yeah, about
oh my god,
like the Psych Spud thing.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's taking it down now.
It got taken down somehow. It got deleted by someone. I don't know what the deal was. Was it him?
He deleted it. I told him to delete it. I'm like, because I talked to him a bit, and he put it up, and like Queensland just went crazy, basically.
Ooh, that's drama, man.
And then it started getting very personal attacks and things like. It got brutal, man. It was bad.
What did you think was going to happen? Oh, that's funny.
I don't think he realized the amount of like animosity that goes around
towards Spud as well.
Spud. Yeah, because he was saying like that Spud is actually quite a humble person. And I was like,
no, but here's the thing, right?
Like,
here's the thing.
Because my experience of Spud is like some people talking about him, as well as he did some video where he's watching like a Vic combo set, like a combo video, and just paying them out the entire time.
No, look, see, okay. You know what you were saying before? That if you win, like, BAM, you get bragging rights for the next, like, X months, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what happened at BAM7, right? Like, he got the best result of all the Australians at BAM7, so he has the bragging rights as the best player. I mean, in theory, just based on results, he has the best results at the last Australian major, right?
Yeah. And he beat Alex. He beat Alex 19.
Beat Alex 19, so he's in that position that you were talking about, right? But the thing is, nobody believes that Spud is actually like the best player in Australia or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Of the Australians. So there's a big disconnect there, and everyone's kind of mad at that situation, I think.
Because he has the bragging rights, but because it's just one tournament.
But nobody thinks he necessarily deserves it. Like if it was SD instead or something that beat Alex 19, right? It would just be like, oh wow, Australia's gotten a lot better. But Spud kind of came out of nowhere, right? Comparatively.
So if it was someone, so you're saying if it was someone else like in the top who people already think are one of the best in Australia, like if it was Smo or RJ or something like that.
If it was SD, because SD's
who's SD? I don't even know who SD is.
Sam Darroch. He's the best player. I mean, he's the one that Smoke beat in grand finals of City of Melbourne to get to Genesis, and he's the one that Spud played because the two non-internationals that got top 8 at BAM7 was Spud at 7th place, right?
Yeah. And
SD at 7th place.
Yeah.
So if it was SD that beat Alex 19, then that would have made the difference.
SD creates content and stuff, doesn't he? And does he do most of the posts in the Australian Smash social?
Yeah, that's him, yeah. Lots of memes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, Australian Smash Social is not a real group. It's Australia's Melee Hell, right? It's just a meme group.
Yeah. Is there an Australian, like an actual Australian group?
Not that I know of. No, there probably is. I don't know.
It's just a spot to post.
I don't pay too much attention. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. All right, let's call it, dude. It's been an hour and a half. This has been good. That's
a long conversation.
It's been interesting. I've learned a lot. I'm stoked because now, I have the encyclopedia.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Definitely talk to Kaiser. If you can, that'd be cool. If you could talk to him a little bit about streaming.
Yeah, I need to talk to someone about it because it just keeps going wrong for me and it's so bad.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
I did do some recordings. I didn't stream, but I did some recordings on Tuesday, and like I did a different way to do the sound through my capture card. So rather than do it into the capture card, I just did it directly into the computer. So I'm hoping it's going to fix my sync issues, but I think it was still out. So I've got a new capture card on the way. I don't know if that doesn't work. Yeah, I got to get onto this guy and to work out, okay, how can, get some streaming tips. Because I think that would help if we could do it and do it consistently well and it wasn't really
that would
hard.
definitely be cool. Yeah, if it was simpler, it would definitely be a cool thing to have.
Yeah, but it's just so difficult and just doesn't work. All right, man. Well, I'm going to go. I will be watching BAM on the weekend, and I'll probably see you either on Tuesday or at the next event.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right, see ya. Okay, well, that brings us to our episode of Smash Talk. Thank you so much to Tane for taking your time out and coming on to talk about that. I learned so much, especially at the end there, talking about how to discover all those different options with Peach. I just didn't know about the Peach encyclopedia, and so I was very excited to find that out. If you want to see more Smash Talk, then you can head over to the website at Melee.co. You can also see my interviews with pro players over there, as well as me documenting my journey, the practice I'm doing, etc., as I'm trying to become a better Melee player. So I wish you the absolute best as you go out and play Melee today and theory craft and do whatever it is that you do. And until next time, keep calm and play Melee.